Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing a double page layout featuring 6 photos of my son playing in the park. This is a design team layout for Spiegelmom Scraps. She has a sequin website that shows lots of beautiful sequins. The ones I'm using today are called Dream Big Dreams, and they're a teal holographic mix, and I will use them in the Shaker Pocket title. So here I'm showing you the collection I plan on using today. This is Cocoa Vanilla, mainly No Limits collection, which is a boy collection. And then the star paper is from an older boys collection called You Rock. And here's the cut file that I plan on using for my title, Day at the Park. And I'm going to put the sequence behind the park word, and it'll be a shaker pocket. Here's a couple of the ephemera pieces. Majority of these do not make it on the layout. I use the stars, and I use a couple of these little pocket pages, I guess journaling pieces. And I believe that's it off of those. Here I use a couple of the clear stickers, not off of that sheet, off of these two. And then the enamel stars I will use off of this sheet here. And this sticker here, I believe I just use a couple of the word stickers down at the bottom on the actual layout. And then I also have some items that I pulled in from a new Pebbles collection. This is another boy collection, and it's brand new. It was just released last month, I believe. And I've already pulled out some of the pieces that I plan on using. I end up pulling out a dinosaur that makes it onto the layout. That's in one of these ephemera packs. Other than that, I think that's it. Some of these pieces don't make it on the layout either. The little letters, or the alpha, is silver, and I do use that for part of my, I guess, journaling. It's not really part of the title, it's more part of the journaling sections or the clusters. I add a little bit of journaling in there to tell a little bit about the story at the park. And I'm not going to journal on this layout. I actually have 2 other layouts that I plan on doing with the same park pictures, and I will journal on one of those about the day at the park. And here's the photos. I was going to use the wood grain paper because I love wood grain, but it wasn't going to work for these ones. It will work for the other pictures that I have of the same day, so I will use the wood grain, just not today. I'm going to use this mixed media paper as my background, and I will have to trim it down to 8.5 by 11. Right now it's 12 by 12, and one of them is 9 by 12, I believe. And so I'll have to trim it down, and I trim it down enough that you can still see the mixed media around the edge. And then I'll also add a little bit more mixed media to the edge. I'm also going to add mixed media to my title and make it match the background. And I'll show you how I do that here in a minute. So I was just kind of laying them out, trying to see how it was going to work, if it was going to work. So I bring in Distress Oxide. I believe I used Speckled Egg and another, like a gray color. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Sorry. If you guys want it, I can get it. But basically, I just take a little bit out of the bottle because this is the liquid one, not the pad. So I take a little bit out of the bottle and put it on the packaging, and then I place it on the cut file. So I'm not using a whole lot of water, but when I come in with the paintbrush is wet. So it is adding just a little bit of water to it because I don't want it to be dark in all the spots. So I want it to be a little bit lighter in some areas and darker in other areas. So that's what I'm doing with the paintbrush, and then rolling it off with the paper towel soaks it up also. And then going back over it again makes it again a little bit darker in certain spots, and then in other spots it's not as dark. So that kind of looks exactly like how the mixed media is in the background of the pattern paper. And I really like the way this turns out. Unfortunately, I'm showing you on a dirty, messy mat, but you wouldn't have been able to really see it on the black Tim Holtz glass mat either. So it is what it is, guys. I went ahead and used some stamps and stamped and put a like plus marks and a little like tire marks on the cut file, and that's also in the background paper. Here I'm filling the sequin shaker pocket, and unfortunately most of it was done off camera. I just couldn't get it to show very well on camera, and it's also a tedious process for the word ones. I do a lot of shaker pockets, but usually they're bigger, just because they're easier to do. So I will have another one that I'll share on the 21st. In that one, I show exactly how to make a shaker pocket if you're not sure. But here I'm placing my photos down, and I forgot to turn the camera back on. Sorry about that. I added fake stitching around it's with a stamp around the edge of the layout. And I also added more mixed media around the edge. So I did the same thing as I did with the title piece. I just did it just to the edge. So I didn't want it to go into the background of the layout, only around the edge. How many times can I say edge? But again, I did use the stitching stamps around to make a border. So here I'm adding my larger photos. The two photos on the top and the bottom are 4x6. The one on the right hand side is cut down slightly. And then the four little photos in the center are 2x3s. So when you print those, they print out on a 4x6. And I'm trying to get them where I need them to be, but also be able to place the papers that I want underneath. So I want there to be mats, but I want it to be layered in between the papers. So each photo has two mats, but not necessarily directly behind each other. Hopefully that made sense. So like on the main photos, they only have the black mat, and then each photo is placed on white cardstock to begin with. So then I place down it's almost like a white color, so you don't really see it. It's behind the little photo that's at the top on the left-hand side. You can see it in the close-ups, and I did ink the edges of all the papers so they'll pop off the white background. And then I add the black star paper, and then so that's a photo mat for the next photo. And then that one there is a like 3x4 pocket card. This one that I'm peeling back up in the center, and I will place another photo on top of that one. And then I'll have one more photo that'll be on another white mat in the teal paper, and it'll go over the bottom photo. So I wanted all of them to overlap and go together. So it kind of looks like he's sliding down the slide is kind of what I was going for. And it makes it a little bit of movement on the layout going in a diagonal. And I really like, doing that with the photos, showing movement or showing you as if you were there. So you're getting the excitement of the photos, which he's just laughing and giggling as he's coming down the slide because he knows I'm waiting at the bottom for him. And then when he would come down at the bottom, I would tickle him. So he would start laughing and giggling. And I love these photos because he was so fun and playful as a little 2-3-year-old. He was, running around and playing, giggling and laughing. And now he's a grumpy 12-year-old that doesn't want to take pictures for me anymore. So unfortunately, I don't get very many photos of him anymore. But I knew it was coming. My older son did the same thing. When they get to like 11, 12 years old, they just don't want to take pictures for you no more. He will take family pictures, and he will take, every once in a while, he'll take cute, funny pictures for me, but he doesn't play like he did when he was little. So I'm really trying to scrapbook and enjoy the the photos that I have of him when he's younger. And it really doesn't matter how many layouts or how many books he has, because I know eventually the books are going to end. He's not going to have, 4 or 5 books each year for each year of his life, because he's no longer going to take photos. So, I had to capture these memories while I could. So I'm just piecing this photo back together. I did slice it and made sure that it goes across both layouts, and that just keeps consistency across both layouts. And then I will add in the 4th or the 5th photo, technically, I guess, here in the middle. But first I'm going to add the 4x6 photo, because this one's going to actually go on top. The matte piece does go underneath the 4x6 and the 3x4 card. So I have to kind of lift those back up to put it underneath there. And I'm just eyeballing it. There's no measurements, and I couldn't even give you a measurement besides the measurement of the photos in the mattes. But there's no, I don't know which angle it's at. I'm just kind of eyeballing it, and whatever looks good is what I'm going with. So here I'm going to add this one here. I think I'll put a couple of scrap papers underneath that picture. And that's just because it was sinking in, since the one photo's matted and the other photo's matted. So it was kind of up a little bit. So I'll just add a couple little scraps from the leftover stars that I cut out. And so I already cut out the stars, and I cut out only the teal and gray color. So the layout's kind of monochromatic, but not really, because I add in the orangish red color to go with the top part of the slide. So you can see at the top part of the photo on the left-hand side, there's red in the photo. So I went ahead and added that in little pops around the layout, and that's just to bring in that red that was at the top of the slide. I probably could have cut it out or changed the color of the photo, I guess, but these photos were printed a while back and I didn't change the colors, so I'm just using what matches. And then this is a banner piece that I took from one tag is from Pebbles Inc. and the other is just a piece of the pattern paper I cut. And I'm going to place it up there at the corner of the photo, and it says, "Boys are the best." And then I'll place stars at the bottom, and I'm going to place 2 pocket cards. One is a cutout, and then the other one's a pocket card. And I place those 2 on top of each other. And again, they're both inked around the edges. One is probably 3x4, and the other one's only about it's not quite 3x3. If I had to guess, it would probably be 2 3/4. And by 3 is the size of that bottom, or the mat that's on top of the 3x4. And then there's a little cut piece that's a label that says "Out of This World," and it's going to say "Out of This World," or "Totally Out of This World, Smile." And then the incredible I'm adding up here at the top, so it's going to be "Incredible Day at the Park." And I do this a lot. I seem to jump from one embellishment cluster to the other, but never really finishing them until I get to the end. So the dinosaur that's on a bike, I just added him because he loved dinosaurs at this age. So I knew I wanted the dinosaur on the layout, and it matched color-wise. And then the little stars, I'm adding all around, making sure they're completely glued down, and then I will come in and add in the alphas. First, I'm going to add a little bit of white acrylic paint splatters, and that's mainly over the stars. And that was just to make them, I guess, blend more into the background, because they're just a plain pattern paper, and then they're on top of this white background. So adding the paint splatters just kind of brought them in a little bit more. You can see where I added "Totally," and that was one of the stickers. I was trying not to cover up. There's a rocket on that piece of paper, so I was trying not to cover it up. And then, so totally out of this world smile. And he does. He has one of the best smiles. I love his smile. And he still has that beautiful smile even at 12 years old. So here I'm adding a couple of the little black star stickers. And then I added Can't Stop, which was a little label from the sticker sheet. And Laughing, I added with the silver alphas. And then I added Fun Times, and that was with the black clear stickers at the bottom. And then I will go around and add little tiny stars all around. I added the orange, the teal, and the gray all around. And then I will add sequins at the bottom where it says totally. I don't do that on screen. I almost forgot until I was taking pictures and I was like, oh, wait, I wanted to add sequins down there. So I just add a couple around the totally box, and you'll see those in the close-up photo. And here's some close-ups. And like I said, I will have one more layout for Spiegelmom Scraps, and that will be on the 21st, and it will show another shaker pocket. And again, if you guys want to save 15%, add my name, Jennifer15, to the comments, and or actually for the code on the website. Bye, guys.